if you could be good at any one game of your choice, what game would you want to be good at? And by good, I mean completely top of the game, the
Shroud,
1%. What game would it be?
Shroud level
Mm.
of good.
Why would it be Sega Bass Fishing? That's what I want to
A classic. Yes, yes. Other than that game, other than that game, what you some games like I'm happy being good at games, and I feel like I can make content based off that.
Yeah.
Just being good, um, or even just having fun being bad. But there's games like that I've gotten brand deals offered to me and everything that I've declined
Mm.
purely because I'm so bad at that genre of games, and it's basically massive building games where it's like you've SimCity, Civilization,
Yeah.
all those Age of Empires, uh, even Sims and all that stuff.
Mm.
There's intricacies in that game that are just yeah, I could follow them, but my brain would be fried by the end of
Yes.
it, and I don't want to like yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to indulge in it into a level in which I'd have to become, extremely good through the time
Mm.
invested in it, and the offset is just my brain would be fried after every single time, and I'm coming out. So I would pick the weakest genre of games, and I think it's games such as like SimCity and all those games where I've seen people do crazy stuff, really
Yeah.
funny, wild, crazy stuff, and I'm like,
It's
you know,
never gonna be me.
oh, puppy got stepped on or something. We got a
Oh
tiny
no.
puppy. We got a tiny puppy miniature schnauzer, and he's very much like walking behind everyone's heels. He's always by your heels.
Oh goodness.
So it's like if you could be walking in a straight line just towards the kitchen, and he's just like,
He's gonna be there.
I don't know, is it like you try your best to avoid him, and then he's just like right under your feet out of nowhere, and you're like, what? How? So sometimes you hear a little yelp out of him, you feel bad, and
Oh.
he's fine though. He's fine. He was always fine.
Have you had many pets in the past?
Yeah, yeah, my family's always been that kind of dog family, so
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, just and Aaliyah's family is very dog family orientated as well. So I assume there's just always going to be a dog in the house.
I
I
would
tried for
love a dog
as
family.
long. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They're
Mm.
cool. They're definitely like healthy to have too. I think it's just what kind of dog and just being smart about the dog. And
Mm-hmm.
some dogs are more higher maintenance than others, and so it's about finding a good low maintenance chill dog that just happy with his walk and food, and he'll just chill out with you and play a bit. And about it. That's those dogs. They're very much manageable alongside work.
Mm. Speaking of going for walks and other stuff like that, what's it been like with lockdown? Obviously, the world's been in a pandemic. Um,
Yeah.
with us being
Yeah.
streamers and obviously being able to create content, how has it affected you? Whether or not that be through, have you seen an increase in numbers based on more people being
No, not
inside,
really.
or has it affected your mood in particular, or the audience that are coming in? Are they coming in a different
I
way?
would say I would say I would say probably no to all of those things, to be honest. A lot of the people that gain views from lockdown are more kid channels, more kiddie content, Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
etc., Roblox,
Yeah.
a little bit of Minecraft as well. But I wasn't really doing any of those content when
Mm.
lockdown started, and so I would say no, not really. There was a minor kick, but nothing that nothing crazy, maybe a few percent or something like that. And in terms of like me personally, it didn't. Like I know a lot of people it did affect, but I never really felt uh, massively impacted by it, other than inconveniences.
Mm.
Mainly because I was on lockdown anyway. Really, I was already on lockdown.
Yeah, I've definitely been on lockdown for the last sort of 20 years of my life. I'd say.
Uh, yeah, I will say once there's any availability for anything really, that so and completely no lockdown anymore, I would be. It's actually made me more extroverted in a way.
Mm.
So
You mentioned about wanting to be good at um, like the Sim City building games and stuff like that.
mhm,
You talked
yeah,
about um, turning down sponsorships or brand deals with
yeah.
specific people. Over how do you, in the position that you're in, go about selecting the right brand deals for you? Because obviously there's a lot of people out there that haven't ever had sponsorships or brand deals that I'm sure would be very interested to know what they're looking for when someone
Mm.
approaches you with that.
I would say it's very important to like share information, privately with people that you trust and that could have had a brand deal. And you don't have to go into very specifics. Some brand deals have NDAs, etc. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it's always healthy to have a contact in some way that you build up over time or just met, and you can talk to them about it. Hey, look, I get this amount of views and I get this amount of that. Or you can do your own personal research as well. Just Google is your friend, of course.
Mm-hmm.
um, when it comes to exploration like that, I would say, it's always good to get a fair price. It's always good to evaluate yourself and say, can I deliver something good here? Um, Another thing is, don't do too many of them.
Mm.
As well, I've done a lot. I've done a lot. So now I'm more focused on like integrations rather than dedicated videos.
Yeah.
Um, but that wasn't really a thing. Like when I was doing YouTube, there wasn't a lot of that going around. But there's a lot of integrations and dedicated stuff floating around, on the general kind of market on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say, don't think about that stuff. Focus on your content. Do dedicated stuff if the money's good and you need it. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to get a step closer to putting a down payment on a house or just pay your rent. Like I completely think go for it. People will understand, especially if you're on the smaller end of the spectrum,
Mm.
and in your revenue, and you're at a point where a sponsorship could be pay the bills that month. Go for it. Go for it. There's no shame in it. Even if it's a game that you don't even, what I mean, find yourself excelling at,
Mm.
uh, go for it. But always check yourself before you accept a deal. Is it, I've gotten deals for some weird ass games. Just let's just say, just basically just let's just say it's on the anime side
Mm-hmm.
of things,
Yep.
and it's on the weirder side of anime,
I mean, well,
and it's like a
in
website and video game,
I
and
just
it's
played
yeah.
in Twitch Rivals Among Us with a group of VTubers, so I've started to learn a lot more about the weirder
Yeah,
side of anime through
yeah,
through
that
them.
is
So
that is VTubers is the normie side, but this kind of company approached me and they wanted me to do something on a game on their website and all this stuff, and it was
got
good
you.
money. It was
If
good money,
if
but
they're on the normal
it
side,
was just
then
yeah, VTubers are considered normal compared to what
yes,
the
of
offer
course.
I got, but it was like no, it couldn't do it within good conscience,
Mm,
but yeah, just depends on your level where you're at. Like I've accepted deals before for like $200
mm.
and stuff like that. Now I accept deals for a lot more than that. Um,
Yeah, you said about a fair price. Like, how do you evaluate what a fair price is for you?
Around $25 CPM. That should be across the
Okay.
board. So if you're getting 100,000 views and $25 CPM, just calculate it from there.
Hmm.
$25 CPM is just basically $25 per thousand views.
Yeah.
So
It's
something
good
like
to know
that.
because I'm sure people have different um experiences on where they place their value. And I guess obviously that
Yeah.
changes as you grow.